Hello, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly UK. Today we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble predictions slash a little discussion of stuff we think that might happen and might stir up the world of wrestling.
It's worth noting at this point that the match card isn't final, so the matches are subject to change and more matches are subject to be added in, but as of now, these are the current matches. But let's start with the WWE Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. Who have you got?
I've got Roman.
Okay.
But the only problem with this prediction is I can see it going the other way as well, with an interference from someone. Like the Adam Pearce, he might get involved with all the stuff happening recently. It's a hard one to call, but I don't see Roman losing his title this close to WrestleMania at this heel position he has right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I've gone for Roman Reigns to retain his title. I think it could go the other way, but I don't see Roman losing. It wouldn't surprise me.
After this match, I just don't see Kevin Owens as a believable challenger. I don't think there's much more for him to do if he doesn't win.
Yeah, I can see that. I think maybe moving to Raw might be a good idea.
Yeah,
different storylines. Moving away from Roman Reigns for a little while would
see,
help.
I think Kevin Owens is one of those wrestlers that benefits from because he's a veteran now. Yeah, he's done it in the Indies. He's done it in the big time.
Yeah,
wouldn't it be nice to see Kevin Owens back on NXT?
Yeah, it would be actually. I mean, and considering they've moved people like they moved Finn Balor back down, moving Kevin Owens over there as well wouldn't be a bad idea.
And when Kevin Owens was NXT champion, he literally dominated everything. Even when he was champion, he came up to Raw and then beat John Cena.
And he made quite an impact, didn't he? With the beat John Cena and stepped on the US title.
I just think the way this match looks like it's going to be Roman winning, and then got to think of a new career path in terms of WWE for Kevin Owens. They need to think of something else that makes him more believable still, and not just a guy that keeps losing.
There is always the option that Kevin Owens could win, like you say, with Adam Pearce maybe getting involved. But I mean, perhaps that's why they've booked it in the way they have to give you that little bit of doubt. But I just don't see Roman losing his title right now.
No,
and I don't see him losing it before WrestleMania.
Well, I think that match is now done. Let's move on to the crazy world of the legends coming back again. WWE Championship match: Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. What do you think about this match? I only want honest opinions as well.
I don't understand why Goldberg has been given this position. Don't get me wrong, Goldberg's business sense is up there with the best of them. He's got a contract that runs for another 2 years. It runs until 2023. 2 matches a year. And the first match of this year is a title match.
The thing is, if we talk about this contract situation with him, does this mean that he's automatically going to get the second match at WrestleMania? Obviously, only if he wins. But for me, I don't think it's time for Drew to lose the title again. I think he's going to keep it. He's going to face someone big at WrestleMania. It's going to be like we had the Drew year last year, but it can't end right now. So I don't see Goldberg winning, even though he has got his 2-match contract. And I think using Goldberg for his 2 matches this soon in the year, obviously they can add another match to a contract, can't they? So it's not that unbelievable.
I just think that this is his first match. I think they might hold the second match for a bit later in the year, see how the current situation is going, see if maybe they could do one of the Saudi Arabia shows or something like that, where they'd need a legend. I don't know if using him at the Rumble and then using him at Mania, knowing that that's his second match and knowing that he most likely would lose the title in that match, seems a bit unlikely for them to book it that way. So no, I think Drew McIntyre retains as well.
Yes, same here. I think Drew is right now too good to lose again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I also think that beating Goldberg, I mean, we all moan that Goldberg shouldn't be given this spot, but if we look at it from Drew McIntyre's position, since Mania, he's had a hell of a run in terms of beating respectable opponents, and adding Goldberg's name to that list would be a good thing for him.
It'd be good in 1999, but we're talking about.
He's he's a big name, isn't he? You could say that in his title run, he's beaten Goldberg.
But that's
add a bit more
yeah.
fuel to the fire.
I understand your argument. It's not like late 90s now. We're in a different time with a different type of wrestling. I just think it's crazy to keep bringing back these guys that, well, they were great in their time, but now they get carried in matches.
But
Like it's I know we're going to go off topic here with like Goldberg's previous matches, but the match he had against Undertaker in Saudi was a shambles, a joke.
it
Like
was.
there's so many botches. Like, I'm surprised Undertaker didn't lose more of his mind because it was ridiculous. He could have killed the man.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? It was hard to watch at
And
times.
if that was any other WWE superstar, would they still have a contract now?
No, I wouldn't think they would. I
I'll
think they
give
would.
you a prime example, yeah? We all love a tag team called the American Wolves.
Yeah.
And they had a match in NXT early days, yeah? And Davey Richards, he back body dropped someone and he landed wrong. And because of that, one botch, the tag team got fired.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen countless times when something goes wrong. Another example was a few years back, Nakamura and John Cena on SmackDown.
Oh, what, the German suplex?
Yep, he landed it wrong, dropped John right on his head. Vince McMahon was
and his push was gone.
Furious, and that was the end of the push for Nakamura.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, it does happen to other superstars, but I think the name Goldberg carries him through, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, I think the Drew will win. I just hope it isn't a finisher move, kick out, finisher move, kick out, finisher move, kick out, finisher move, kick out. I just hope there is some kind of match involved and not just the pure gimmick of kicking out of finishers, because finishers are called finishers for a reason.
The only thing that worries me about the match is Goldberg had a match around about this time in 2017, I believe it was, against Kevin Owens.
Yes.
We went into that match thinking Kevin Owens is going to win this. Goldberg won it, brought the title into Mania.
It's funny how we mentioned Kevin Owens again.
Yeah, I mean, it does worry me that Goldberg's been in this position before, and we've gone into those matches thinking, oh, the champion's got to retain.
We just have to wait and see with this match, see what happens.
But I do back McIntyre to retain.
Yes, same. Let's talk about the US title now. The US title match is Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle, bro. What do you think about this match?
Yeah, so this match has come about from this week's Monday Night Raw. Matt Riddle had a gauntlet match against the Hurt Business, which he won, obviously earning himself a title match against Bobby Lashley. I mean, on paper, it's a good matchup. They're both quite good wrestlers. I mean, it could be an exciting match. I just worry that they haven't given it enough of a build. It just seems to be...
There is no build, is there?
Almost thrown together. They were pushing Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy as a tag team. But it would have made more sense to maybe do a tag match.
Well, we know WWE, we don't have tag matches anymore, buddy.
I mean, the Hurt Business and the Hardy Bros could have been a match at the Rumble, but
it sounds funny.
Match.
It sounds good. Well, the thing with this match is I'm a massive Matt Riddle fan. I think he's great. He's got something different. I don't like the new persona of the stoner kind of thing, but like he's a great wrestler. He was great in the Indies, great everywhere. Same as Bobby. Bobby was better when he left. Now he's back. He looks decent. He looks strong. He's a good champion. Like I said to you in previous videos, I think he will be a future world champion this year probably. And I don't see Bobby Lashley losing his title yet. Maybe at Mania or just after Mania. Like I can see him losing possibly the night after Mania. I just don't see it's right losing his title right now.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I think Bobby Lashley retains.
Yeah.
There's obviously been a bit of turmoil and a bit of online discussion going on about the Hurt Business. Perhaps they're getting ready to break up. I'm not sure. I mean, that could be it could be something that plays into the match. I mean, but that's the only way I see Bobby Lashley losing.
I don't see them breaking up yet.
What to do was to interfere, but if it's a straight match, then no, Bobby Lashley retains.
Yes, same. I think that too. Let's talk about the IC title, the Intercontinental Championship. We got the former champion versus the current champion.
Yeah, this is an interesting match. So we obviously had Big E versus Apollo Crews on SmackDown in a title match, which should have been an excellent match, but it was cut short. Sami Zayn got involved, caused the DQ, and now we're in this position where Apollo Crews should have another title match. Obviously, Sami Zayn's in the picture. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, to be honest.
The only problem with this match is, like, there's not really much to talk about anymore. If Apollo Crews gets added into the match, it's quite a nice little mix. I quite like the sound of that. I quite like Apollo Crews as a wrestler anyway. He's very good. He's very solid. Him being a new IC champion would work as well. But then the push for Big E goes as well. So whatever happens in this match is, if Big E loses, his push goes.
I mean, if we're booking Big E versus Sami Zayn, Big E retains. If we're booking a triple threat match with Apollo Crews, I would imagine Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I would see Crews win if that
champion.
was going to happen, yeah.
There's also that thing that happened last week on SmackDown with Roman Reigns. Is Apollo Crews within that group now? Could there be some sort of outside interference that maybe helps Apollo Crews win the title? I mean, that's what I expected to see this previous week on SmackDown when they had the title match, but obviously Sami Zayn got involved.
That's the thing, we have to wait and see what happens. I like the sound of it. I think Apollo Crews under Paul would be great as well.
Yeah, it would certainly help.
I think obviously Jey Uso is probably the most improved wrestler of the last year because of the whole faction and the whole Paul Heyman element with Roman Reigns. Like, I think Jey Uso now is he if he splits from the bloodline, I can see him being a number one contender again, but a more convincing one. I just think the system of this faction is building people up really well, I think.
Yeah, I think adding Apollo Crews to this would be great for Apollo Crews. I think it would be great for the faction. We all know Apollo Crews is great, so adding someone with that talent into the group only strengthens it. Obviously, booking a triple threat as well, going back to the Big E situation, booking a triple threat means that Apollo Crews could pin Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Big E wouldn't necessarily need to be pinned. So then that might set up a Big E Apollo Crews feud down the line.
I wouldn't mind seeing that at WrestleMania, would you?
No, it would be good. It would be exciting. I mean, like I said, I thought the one on SmackDown was set to be a great match. But
I have to wait and see with that one. For me, if it stays a one-on-one, Big E wins. If Apollo Crews does get added, I think Apollo will win.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Right, women's tag team match. I'm going to throw out there, like, this whole women's tag team right now is pointless. I think the match is... It's just a rematch. Like, there's no point to it for me. Like, the whole reason Asuka and Charlotte won, there was no point as well. And I think they only won because Charlotte come back. I think it's just another women's tag team match. They could have done so many better things with it as well. They could have actually had, like, we always say women's tag team, there's no actual tag teams. Like, we always get rid of them. So if I was speaking to you, would you not rather see the Iconics versus Nia Jax and
Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, Shayna Baszler. Like,
yeah,
I want to see tag teams. I want to see tag teams. I don't want to see two people just thrown together.
I mean, I hope that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler do win this match, because we have to remember that Asuka is the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah.
And she's not defending her title by the looks of it.
Yeah. The thing is, we've had Bayley 2 belts. We've had Sasha 2 belts. We've had Becky 2 belts. And the only member of the 4 horsewomen that hasn't had the 2 belts is Charlotte at the same time.
Yeah.
So is this kind of setting up that? Like, they can retain and she wins the Royal Rumble? It's crazy. It's hard to judge. Is WWE that weird to do that?
I don't know. I mean, in terms of quality, Asuka and Charlotte should retain. They put on a better standard of match. In terms of building a tag team division, I think you should put it on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Just because the current champions are both solid single stars. They
That's
shouldn't be
the
joined
problem.
together.
They are single stars, like you said.
And
It's hard to say.
but also, I'm surprised this match has happened over the Riot Squad, because that was something that looked like it could have been.
Yeah, I see. I keep seeing the Riot Squad and like Billy Kay getting involved with it as well.
I mean, moving the titles over to a group like that
See,
as soon as possible.
that's a
would
tag
be-
team. That's a faction. It makes
Yeah.
sense. They should have held it before. When the whole Riot Squad and then the Page group happened, it was great. It was awesome to see the little three factions coming at the same time. It was awesome. Like we need to see more women's wrestling like this.
Yeah,
But the thing is, they
not
keep getting
sure.
rid of people. Like I said, the Iconics have gone. The original member of Riot, Sarah Logan's gone.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't understand what they're doing with the women's tag team division. I don't see why they have it, to be fair. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, I'm not sure.
I don't see Charlotte and Asuka losing the titles.
I mean, if we're looking at the bigger picture, them losing could spark the feud between Asuka and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I see that too. That's a good point. Well done.
And then, obviously, after the Rumble, we're then on the road to Mania, kicking off Monday Night Raw with that as a feud ready to go. Wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, that makes sense. But so they've just undermined the women's tag team titles then, because if there's no plan for the whole thing, they're just giving the titles for no reason, just to start a feud.
Unfortunately, the way that they've booked this, they're going to undermine one of the two. I mean, Asuka, like I said, is Raw Women's Champion. She's not defending on one of the big 4 pay-per-views. That doesn't seem right.
No.
So,
Okay.
they've undermined one of the 2 championships by doing it this
So
way.
who's your winner for this match?
I think Jax and Baszler win, and then they can spark that feud between Asuka and Flair.
Okay, that's cool. All right, let's talk about the main point to Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble matches. We're just going to start. Actually, no. Let's change that. There's also another match that's been not announced, but there's been talks about. We won't talk about it a lot because we don't know if it's actually going to happen. The Sasha Banks match.
Yep, so Sasha Banks has been feuding with Carmella on SmackDown for the past few weeks. Previously on SmackDown, Sasha Banks had that match with Reginald. Really strange. I'm not really sure what that was all about, if I'm honest. I mean, we're building a women's title match, and they've put Reginald into the picture.
Yeah, they always do stupid stuff like that. Like the thing is,
I understand getting him involved, but not getting him involved like that. I mean, get him involved in causing distractions and disqualifications and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But don't put him into a match with the women's champion. That's just bizarre. That doesn't help Sasha Banks. That doesn't help Carmella.
No, it sounds very TNA when EY won the title when he was with ODP.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. Right, let's move on because we don't know if this match is going to happen. But if it does happen, I don't see Banks losing it. Do you?
No, I don't see Banks losing. I think she retains. I do like the new sort of attitude that Carmella's come in
I've always
with,
liked Carmella. She's very good.
But no, I don't see her beating Sasha Banks yet.
Okay, fair enough. No, we'll start with the Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
The first thing I want from you, before we talk about anything, is your prediction who's going to win.
Who's going to win?
Just the name.
Okay, so I've got 2 that I'm really unsure about. One of them has been announced.
One of them's been announced, right? Okay.
One's been announced. She's definitely in the Rumble. The other one is not been confirmed, but I think if she appears, then she would have a great chance of winning it.
So I'm going to guess that second one you're talking about is Alexa Bliss.
No.
No? Oh, okay. Well,
Alexa Bliss has been announced as of now.
Oh, okay. Just I'm going to tell you my predictions because Liam's got more than me, like always. He can never ever choose one winner. I'm going to go Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
I just think her storyline is working, everything's working. I think everything's right now for her as well. If we're not going to see the Fiend at Mania, Alexa Bliss will do the title shot very well, I reckon. That's my prediction. Let's hear your 2 predictions, Liam.
So before we move on to that,
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
Challenges the Raw Women's Champion,
No.
or challenges the SmackDown Women's Champion, or the NXT Women's Champion, because that's a thing as well now.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. I don't think that'll happen again. I think she'll.
Where do you see Alexa going
I see her going to SmackDown.
and challenging potentially Sasha Banks?
Yes. And I also see Bray also going to SmackDown soon as well.
Yeah, I think they'd have to move together, wouldn't
The thing is, like,
Would make
obviously we're going to talk about the men's Royal Rumble in a bit, but if we had Alexa Bliss win and then Bray win, it would be a crazy, crazy show.
It would be. Yeah, it would be something.
And I do want to see Bray come back.
Yeah. We'll get into the men's one in a moment. Yeah. So I think so far this woman's been announced. I think she's got a great chance of winning the Rumble, and that's Bianca Belair.
Oh.
I see her winning and then challenging Sasha Banks. I mean, she's already in a feud with Bayley. She's looking great on TV.
She also had a very good Royal Rumble last year as well, in the debut Rumble.
She did. She had a great Rumble last year. On the road to WrestleMania, she can pick up a win against Bayley. That'll make her look even stronger going in. And then challenging Sasha Banks at Mania, I see that being a potential match. I see that being a great match as well if it were to happen. So Bianca Belair is who I'm going for in terms of who's already been announced. My second thought, she hasn't been announced, is Rhea Ripley. I could see Rhea Ripley being a surprise entrant.
I don't mind your. That's not a bad shout.
I could see a surprise entrance from Rhea. I could also see her winning, and I'll tell you the reason why I think this could happen. Rhea Ripley wins the Rumble, and we previously alluded to the Asuka and Charlotte Flair thing. If that were to happen before Mania, at one of the 2 pay-per-views before Mania, and Charlotte were to pick up the title going into Mania, a rematch between Ripley and Charlotte Flair with a crowd would be great, I think. I think that's what let them down last Mania. The match was good, but I just felt like without the crowd, it could have been so much better. And I think doing that match again wouldn't be a bad decision. So I could see Rhea Ripley being a surprise entrant.
I like that. I never even thought about it. I like it.
And challenging like a Charlotte Flair going into Mania.
Like
so they've got a Raw match, I've got a SmackDown match.
I like it.
So shall we move on to the men's Royal Rumble match?
Let's go for it. You can go first this time.
Okay, so I think the winner of the men's Royal Rumble this year will be AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles has been quietly moving along in the storylines. Not too much happening with him recently. And it seems strange that they haven't really done anything with him as of recent. And having him come in, win the Rumble, hasn't won the Rumble yet, would be a great thing to add to his career. Win the Rumble and then go on to challenge Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. To me, sounds like a really good plan.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, I've gone for AJ as well. Or, see, I've done a Liam now. I can't decide. So I've gone for an AJ or a Daniel Bryan win.
Yeah.
But this is... Right, I'm not going to explain why I think they're going to win, because I just think they will. But there is another scenario that has come to mind. And this is pure the fact that WWE is WWE. So, what about Jinder Mahal coming back and winning it and then facing Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I've mentioned recently.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen. Jinder Mahal could come back. He could face Drew. Wouldn't surprise me.
Is this just because of the fact of 3MB, or is this just because WWE is still trying to get into the Indian market?
I think there's ties in both of those ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had the Superstar Spectacle.
Yeah.
And in that, there was a 6-man tag that featured Drew and Jinder. So we've had a little taster of what that match could be within a 6-man tag. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was an option.
This is the thing. We can predict all we want, yeah. The Rumble is mainly always a surprise. And that's what I love about the Rumble. Look, I know you've previously said on these points that you would like to see nobody saying they're in on nothing. You just like to see pure surprise in every single entry. I agree with that as well. I always love the Rumble. I love watching it. I think this year's going to be quite an interesting one to watch. Do we know anything about Jay White yet?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, he could be a surprise entrant.
Because he's done with New Japan, yeah?
As far as I know.
He's not signed anybody else, we don't think, no?
I haven't seen it.
Is it this hard to keep secrets these days? This is a thing. Are we just surmising right now?
It is possible. We've seen New Japan stars leave shortly after wrestling.
This is where AJ made his debut?
Yeah. We've seen this happen before. It wouldn't surprise me if it was to happen. I don't know if it would happen. I'm not sure.
No. Well, that's the fun of the WWE Royal Rumble. We're gonna have to wait and see, won't we?
The Rumble so far looks great. The list is really strong.
Yeah.
We've got some great names on the list. And there's people like you mentioned earlier, The Fiend. He's not on the list. He's probably going to return at the Rumble in some capacity.
Yeah, I can't see him not being on television for much longer.
I mean, I don't know if he'll be an entrant. What I would like to see...
He might be at the women's.
Well, we've seen them do stuff like that before, haven't we?
Yeah, he might help out Alexa Bliss.
I mean, remember James Ellsworth won the women's Money in the Bank match?
I don't mean he's going to win the match. I mean...
But we've definitely seen male superstars get involved.
Yeah, I don't mean that. I mean, he might help Alexa Bliss.
But in that same sense, James Ellsworth helped Carmella at the time.
Yeah, I understand. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I wouldn't be certain that he'd be an entrant into the male Royal Rumble. I think, if anything, he might appear and maybe be the one to eliminate Randy.
Do you not think that The Fiend's music hitting at number 30 would be amazing?
It would be great. But the problem with that is WWE have announced that they're going to tell us who the number 30 entrant is.
Oh, yes, I just remembered.
So I can't see them announcing.
No, that's a shame.
But it doesn't mean that person will enter the Rumble.
No.
I mean, they could announce someone and that person could be attacked.
It's a good point. That's the thing with the Rumble. It's a surprise. We never know what's going to happen.
That's happened before. I mean, there's loads of names that we're thinking maybe might make an appearance. Brock Lesnar might make an appearance. Wouldn't surprise me if Brock Lesnar makes a return.
No, wouldn't surprise me at all. The man likes money.
So to sum it up, I think AJ Styles will win the Men's Rumble.
Yeah, I'm going to choose... I'm not going to go with the same as you because that's cheating. So I'm going to go Daniel.
Either option I would be happy with because both of those guys are great. Both of those guys could go on to have great WrestleMania matches.
I agree.
Wouldn't be upset with either of them.
No.
So there we have it. We've gone through the Royal Rumble pay-per-view as it currently stands and we've given our predictions. Do you think we're right? Do you think we're wrong? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. And make sure you join us next time for more Pro Wrestling Weekly UK content.
We also have a TikTok now.